friends out there, and I just wanted you to see our first project that we're going to work on today, and that is a pumpkin drawing. But you could also turn it into a pumpkin painting if you have some paints at home. But you can just use crayons if that's what you have. If you use markers, you could also turn those into a painting by applying a little bit of water and even using Q-tips as your paintbrush. So let's get started. The first thing that we need to do is we need to make the pumpkin. So I'm going to take a pencil. I'm going to make a dot at the top and a dot at the bottom. So my paper is horizontal, but if you want a tall pumpkin, you can also have it vertical. So that's up to you. And how we're going to do this is you have the dot at the top, a dot at the bottom. You're going to make the letter C. And then the next shape you're going to do is make the letter D. But this time you're not going to put the line right there. You can go ahead and erase those two little dots if you'd like. And we need to now take our pencil. We've made the contour line, which is the outside line. We're going to make the ridges of the pumpkin. Make sure that your ridges go from the top all the way down to the bottom. You don't want your ridges to stop halfway. And then go ahead and add a stem. I'm kind of creating, it's a little crooked triangle without the point. And I'm putting on an oval to make it look a little more three-dimensional. From there, I'm going to start using my crayons. And I want to follow the lines that I drew. And all I'm going to do is outline them. And then shade those in. I'm just going to keep on shading, and then I'm even going to go down in here and color those in. Now, I also want to have a little bit of yellow, so I'm going to keep on adding some yellow, and I'm just going to keep on working there. I'm just using some basic crayons, and I'm going to add some brown to make my ridges even darker. So I'm going to kind of overlap that, even the little edges, just to make it a little bit darker. And I'm going to even color some right down at the bottom. This is going to create a little bit of shadow because that's where the light is not hitting the bottom of the pumpkin. And I'm just going to keep on adding color in here. Remember, if I go too fast, you can always hit pause and it will pause the video. I'm just going to keep on going around here. And again, I'm using a little bit of red because this is a red-orange because I love those princess pumpkins. They're a little bit more of a red pumpkin. I think those are really cool. I'm going to even color in my stem here, even the top part. I'm going to add a little bit of green there too. So I have two colors there. If I want to, I can even add a little bit of green to the bottom because maybe that didn't get enough of the sunlight from being out in the field. And then I'm going to add some more yellow in here. I'm kind of just mixing it up. And I can just keep on coloring it. If I want it more filled up, I can. And then down in here, I'm going to add some more shadow down in here. And then with my crayon, I'm going to add a little bit of shadow down on the ground. And maybe yours is out in the pumpkin patch or sitting out in the grass. So I'm going to add some grass. Just a little bit, not too much. Just to kind of add a little bit of a neat detail. Now, with my paintbrush, I can go in with my orange. This is only if you want to do a crayon resist. And so watch what happens. I can put that orange right on top. I'm still going to see the crayon showing through, but now I have all these different shades. So it's really cool to do a crayon resist. You get all those really bright colors. Remember, whenever you use watercolor, keep the paint on the tip of your brush. You'll have so much more control. I'm going to keep on going through here. Remember, if you don't have a paintbrush, you can use some Q-tips. Just make sure your Q-tip is wet though. If it's dry, it will just kind of ruin your watercolors, and you don't want that. So I'm just going to go in and add some more. If I want it to be a little bit more of a red orange, I can go into the red and make that a little darker. So I can even do that more at the ridges, where those ridges are. Now you're starting to see I have some bubbles, some puddles of paint. I'm going to move that over here because I don't want puddles on my paper. And I'm also using a watercolor paper, but you can just use regular paper. It's kind of neat to explore with different materials. So there's my pumpkin. My next thing I'm going to do is add the ground. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint some brown for the ground. And I think I'm going to have my pumpkin be sitting out at night. So I can go in and I can also, maybe I want to put some stars. So let's see what happens when I add some black over those stars. They start to appear. Oh, there they are. They're appearing. I can paint right over all of that awesome, super duper awesome crayon. Now you can also let your painting dry and then go back and add a second layer, and it will work out really well for you. So this is if you want to paint. You don't have to paint. You can just use your crayons and really enjoy putting down some color. I'm going to actually add even some brown in the sky. Now your black is probably going to look a little bit more like a gray. I'm going to add a little bit more black over here. So I have some different shades going on in my pumpkin area. And then I can add just a couple more. I'm going to add some shadow down here. And then I'm going to let it dry. And then once it's dried, you'll have your finished pumpkin painting. So have fun exploring with crayons. And if you do have watercolors, maybe try putting some watercolor on top of your crayon. Great job. See you next time.